running my cheese. I ain't growing till I research and questioned all my beliefs. What's poppin' YouTube? It's Sell Money. Welcome back. It is almost a new year. So instead of us making up a bunch of New Year's resolutions we're probably not going to keep anyway, let's collectively focus on this one. It's this one resolution that will make room in your life for all of your blessings and all of your desires and everything that you're wishing for to come into being. This resolution is to keep the 4 agreements. Real quick, before I dive into the 4 agreements, what is an agreement? An agreement is an idea, belief, or concept that you've accepted into your mind. So let me ask you the question, what is this? What am I wearing? If your mind tells you jacket or coat or something like that, it's because you've made an agreement. This isn't actually a jacket or a coat. Jacket or coat is just a label that another human made up to conceptualize this thing right here. Because you've agreed to that, when you observe this object, your mind recognizes it as a coat or jacket. That's an example of a small agreement. Now, the bigger agreements that we have are agreements about ourselves, agreements in our relationships, agreements concerning religion, and agreements concerning society. And it's also agreements that cause us to suffer and place limitations on ourselves. The 4 agreements is a summary of the mastery of transformation, which is changing your life from hell into heaven. Hell and heaven are symbolic for states of the mind, right? So, just changing your life, changing your mind from these 2 things being undesirable places to places of bliss, places of harmony. Keeping these 4 agreements will detox your mind and detox your spirit of the black magic, of the poison, and of the negative voices that lie within you. The reward of becoming a master of these 4 agreements is to transcend the human experience of, suffering and happiness. Once suffering and happiness are gone, there's nothing but peace. It's joy. Peace and joy, these are different from happiness. Happiness is a momentary sensory pleasure. It's a dopamine hit. It's not everlasting. Peace, joy, and love. Those are the highest frequencies, and they come from within, not from any material object or experience in life. The first agreement is to be impeccable with your word. Your word is a gift that comes directly from God. In the Bible, the Gospel of John says, in the beginning, there was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word is God. What you dream, what you feel, what you think about, your imagination, regardless of what language you speak, the world is a manifestation of what's going on inside of you. And that's the word. The word is the ability to take something from the mind, take something from the realm of consciousness and bring it into 3-dimensional reality, bring it into the matrix. Your word is powerful. Your word is magic. You can destroy the lives of millions of people.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and we're probably not going to be cheering so much for some of them.
We're outnumbered. There's a fucking million of us out there, and we are listening to Trump.
This is why you got to become conscious. If you're not, you become a slave. You become a tool for the manifestation of somebody else's personal agenda. Or you can change someone's life just with your word alone. And so the intention behind your words determines the type of magic that you're using. If you use your words for positivity, that's white magic. If you use your words for, destruction, dysfunction, harm, disrespect, whatever, that's black magic. What it means to be impeccable with your word is you got to understand the law of karma. Whatever you put out to the universe, whatever you sow, you reap. Words are spells. You have to build a strong enough mind to where you're able to deflect and you're able to detox your mind of black magic whenever somebody plants a negative seed within you. You have to turn your mind into a place that can only receive love, inspiration, and positivity. I'm going to show you the example of the power of the word and how we put spells on each other with this quick example from this story. There's a mother and a young girl. Now, this mother, she's had a long day at work. She's had a terrible day, and she's uncomfortable. She has a headache, and she just wants to relax. Now, the daughter has no idea about what type of day her mom's had. She's just in kid mode. She's radiating love. She's loud, and she's playful. So this child is singing at the top of her lungs. She has such a beautiful voice. She's talented. She's gifted. But because the mom had such a horrible day, was in such a terrible mood, and when she hears the voice, she didn't appreciate it. She responded with, "Can you shut up? Your voice is so annoying." And what happened is the little girl, she accepted that. When she accepted those words into her mind, she made an agreement with herself that she couldn't sing. So whenever she went to school, whenever she was out and she was encouraged to sing, she never did it because of that one moment as a child. She's under a spell. She has that black magic within her mind. And as long as that agreement is there, she will never sing again. If she would have just stayed free, if her mind would have stayed open and she would have stayed believing in herself, she could have became one of the best singers to ever grace the industry. But because of that one moment, she limited her potential and totally changed her life. That's what an agreement and that's what black magic will do to you. Becoming impeccable with your word will eventually remove all of the poison from your mind and from your life because you're not speaking anything negative. You don't complain. You don't judge anyone. You become conscious of your mind and of your energy. And if the energy is not rooted in love, you don't speak it. The vibrations that come out of you through your speech, they affect what's happening at the edge of the universe. The entire universe is a reflection of you. And a master does not use the power of the word against his or herself. The second agreement, Don't take anything personal. If somebody says anything negative to you, if somebody does anything disrespectful to you, it's a reflection of what's going on inside of them. It has nothing to do with you. Let's say there's a man, right? He's on 2 hours of sleep, woke up, his wife told him she wanted a divorce, his kids told him they hated him, he got fired from his job. Let's say there's a man who's having the worst fucking possible day in his life, and on the flip side, I'm having the best day of my fucking life. I'm smiling, I'm radiating energy, and shit's going amazing. We both go to Safeway, meet up, run into each other, and I say, excuse me. He says, man, fuck you, get out of my way. What happens if I personalize? That's what's going on inside of him. He is upset. He is in dis-ease with his own life. If I make that about, what you mean, fuck me? I ain't do nothing to you with I destroy my own bubble of peace. I destroy my own energy. You see, nothing anybody ever does is because of you. Anybody's response, anybody's perception of a situation is due to the domestications, the programming, the agreements that the Matrix has given them, bro. It is not you. It's their own perception. Because if they were to sit down in a meditation, right, with you gone, that same voice would be there. The same voices that are there inside your mind, judging these people and judging these things in your life, they're not created by these people and things in your life. They come from within you. Don't personalize shit nobody do or shit nobody say. And if they do disrespect you, I'm not saying just allow yourself to be walked over, but don't mentally and emotionally let that poison within you. Oh, fuck me. Okay, well, you know what? I wish you love. Separate yourself from the situation. Detachment, separation, and you send them off. Anyone in your life, right? You release them with love. Wish a blessing upon them. Keep in mind, it goes both ways. Like, even with the people that comment on my videos, when I receive praise for creating this type of content, bro, it don't blow my fucking head up. Thank you so much. Like, I appreciate you appreciating me. I'm grateful for you. But at the end of the day, I'm just doing God's work. It doesn't flatter and inflate my ego, right? It makes my spirit happy. It makes me feel like I'm more in harmony with everything around me, spreading this love and sharing and connecting with you guys. Don't take anything personally, anything. The third agreement is don't make assumptions. The truth is, you don't know what anybody else is thinking. What happens is that you project your own mind onto every situation, and you think everyone thinks like you and everyone believes what you believe, and everybody would operate like you in a situation. But in reality, that's not the case. You're always making an assumption about what somebody is doing, making an assumption about what somebody is thinking. And when you make an assumption, all you're doing is opening yourself up to making a bad situation happen, because once you make the assumption about what they're doing and what they're thinking, you take it personal. And then what do you do when you take something personal? You respond by using your word to send out black magic, emotional poison. All of this sadness, a lot of this shit in your life that goes wrong or that goes crazy is because you took something personally and you chose to emotionally react to it, because you made an assumption. This is a simple example of how assumptions can cause friction in a relationship. Let's say this man, right, his whole life, he's always cooked his own food. Let's say he grew up by himself, grew up a single child, and he's been single, living alone. He gets up, he makes himself 2 eggs, 2 slices of bacon, and 1 piece of toast. Now, let's say this woman, her background is she grew up in a family where every time someone cooks, they cook for everyone in the household. That's just the way that these two people are. They come together, they show love in different ways. Now, let's say that's how she shows love. Cooking for everyone in the house, that's how she shows love. He doesn't cook for anyone. How he shows love is spending time together, vibing out, listening to music, drawing, just, spending time doing whatever. They wake up in the morning, the man gets up first. She sees he prepared himself breakfast and didn't make her any. In her mind, oh, when I cook for everyone. So because you don't operate like that, I'm going to make the assumption you don't give a fuck about me. So now, because that's the narrative playing in her mind, this argument ensues, and he doesn't understand why she's mad, and she doesn't understand that she doesn't have a reason to be mad because his intentions were not ill. And that boils down to what? Communication. When you stop making assumptions and you communicate, everything goes so much smoother. And I've experienced situations like these myself. That's why I'm telling you, don't assume nothing about shit, because you're just asking for an argument. Keep a clear mind, an open heart, and be flexible. The human mind feels the need to be able to label and understand everything in order to feel safe. Your mind is making up assumptions about a whole bunch of shit that we don't have the answers to. Because of the fear of asking questions, you would rather run with an assumption that's wrong because it makes you feel safe. You make assumptions about people in the way that they think and the way that they judge. And that's why everybody is scared to be their 100% authentic self in public or around anybody. Because you're making the assumption that if you are you entirely in your goofiness and your silliness and your weirdness and all of your beautiful complexities, you believe if you show that, people are going to have some sort of negative reaction, and you fear that. So what's happening is you've created this situation in your mind where people don't approve the most genuine version of you because you don't approve of yourself. You reject yourself before anybody's even had a chance to reject you. Stop making assumptions. You can also make an assumption rooted in narcissism or an inflated ego. I'm amazing. I don't need to study. I don't need to practice anything. I can just do everything. You try to learn a new skill or you try to do something new and you're bad at it. You're horrible at it, right? What happens is because you made the assumption you were going to be good and you weren't, your mind is going to open up a doorway for self-doubt, criticism, and all of these other self-destructive thought patterns to come in based off of that assumption. You see, it's your assumptions and your agreements that are responsible for your reactions and your perceptions and the shit that happens in your life. It's the foundation of everything. Don't make no assumptions. The fourth agreement is just do your best, right? Do your best to maintain the other three agreements. Do your best to be a loving person relative to your family, to your friends. Do your best to be intelligent. Do your best to keep your body healthy. Do your best. And keep in mind, right, your best is not the maximum that you've performed. You need to do your best in each and every moment. Life is a fluctuating thing. You can go good, you can go bad, you can be energized, you can be tired. In every moment, do your best. Your best in every moment is always going to differ. But as long as you take action and take action from a place of love, from a place of, just wanting the world and wanting society around you to be better, you're going to live an intense and productive life where you're giving to your family, giving to your friends, being a beautiful part of your community. And when you do your best, you take action because you love it. Lots of people go to work on Monday. They mentally block out the next 2 weeks because they're only going to work because they want that paycheck. They're looking all the way forward to the paycheck and this is just a means to an end. On the other hand, if you take an action without expecting a reward, if you take an action just for the sake of taking that action, you'll realize that you love taking the action. When you operate from this mindset, more rewards, more blessings come into your life. But it's not the rewards and blessings that define you. If you like what you do, you're always going to do your best. And if you're always doing your best, you enjoy life. There is no boredom. There is no frustration. There's none of that shit that makes life mundane. And there's nothing that makes life feel like it's a burden. Life is not a responsibility. Life is not a burden. Life is not a bitch. Life is beautiful. You are life. And when you do your best, you take away your mind's ability to judge you. Hey, you're not doing enough. You're not good enough. You're lazy. All the judgments your mind places on you, there's no room for that because your mind knows, like, bro, I'm doing everything that I can. And doing your best doesn't mean overexertion. We need to take care of ourselves, and overexertion, overtraining, too much of anything is a bad thing, right? So do your best within your parameters. Work don't even feel like work. You're just doing shit because you love it. On your path to becoming your higher self, on your path to ascension, there's going to be many obstacles that present themselves to you within the matrix. That's why you must become a master. You need to constantly be in defense and in protection of your energy, of these four agreements, because your freedom, your happiness, and your success, your life is dependent upon these agreements. If you keep these four agreements, there's no way you are going to live a bad life. Hit the link in my bio, follow me on all my socials, and subscribe, turn on the post notifications. I love you.
Take my peace, eat a mushroom and elevate my consciousness. Sit and separate from my mental to see what's wrong with it. Metacognition stronger myself, I stay